all of my past relationships weren't bad, right? Good people, good guys. Um, but the love, it just wasn't enough. It wasn't, they were doing the best they could, right? But it wasn't enough. And then, once I really took time to reflect and look within, I was like, they're doing good. Like it's the best they have.
What it do? This game by Lifeline. We back. We've been going for a while. This is season 2. We got Tammy in the building. How you doing, Tammy?
Hello, I'm doing good.
We got a little twist to this season. We're not just asking relationship questions, we're asking family questions. And right now, you can follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And we're going to get right to it, Tammy. We're not going to play around.
Let's go.
All
Let's go.
right, so the first question is my mate. It's from the Relationship Game card. My mate, emotional sponge. Someone who takes but never returns emotionally. Is that a must, B, preferred, C, conversation, or D, a deal breaker? Answer, then explain why you chose your answer.
Read it again. You said someone who takes and never responds.
Returns emotionally. Like they take emotionally, but they never return. They just a sponge. They just soak.
Yeah. And my choices were a
A must,
must.
B, preferred, C, conversation, or D, a deal breaker?
It's gonna be a deal breaker. It's
Okay.
gonna be a deal breaker because well, you said it's draining. Someone always I see I would define that person as a woe is me, a victim mindset, someone who loves sympathy, really somebody who doesn't have like set goals, visions. I like know how to get up and go. Like and especially for my mate to be a man, that's a deal breaker. That's the deal breaker. That's a heavyweight. That's a
Okay.
heavyweight.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm answer as well. It's a deal breaker for me as well because nobody want to be pouring into somebody all the time and they can't receive nothing from them. Because after a
Yeah.
while, who you going to turn to? If you're the one helping them, who's going to help you? And eventually, you have to seek outside person. I'm not saying it has to be the opposite sex, but it's still like your mother, your whatever, a parent or whatever. But it's like, why would I have to do that when they always taking from me?
All right.
Okay, now we're gonna go to a blank and white question. That's the yellow card. I
Okay.
prefer blank out of these choices and why. A, housing stability. B, outgoing. C, spiritual. D, open-minded. Answer, then explain why you chose your answer.
I definitely, this one's easy. I prefer open-minded.
Okay.
And the reason I would choose someone or that my mate would be open-minded is because we'll attain everything else, A, B, and C. We'll be able to get the house or housing instability. Definitely, we're going to talk about being spiritual. Well, that would have been in the vetting process. And like we'll gain all of that. We're able to discover, build, recover if needed. So we can gain all of that. Closed minded, we're not going to get far. We're not going to go far.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna stop you. This is something they already have to have.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Okay.
have their own housing stability. They own, they have to be outgoing. It's got to be a part of their personality.
Okay.
Or you still stick with
So
open-minded.
I'm still going to say open minded because, like, he doesn't have to have a house and have to have it because I think in today's time, depending on circumstances, we can get there. We can get there because I know I'll put it this way: I've dated men who have things, right, and it's horrible. They lack emotional security. They lack emotional intelligence. They lack self-love. They know how to project and look the part. They have the nice material things and the gains, but they're closed-minded. So I would still say someone open-minded.
Yeah, yeah. And and the funny thing about it, I'm the opposite. Like right now,
Hmm.
usually open-minded, but out of these choices, that's why everybody is different when you line up different things. Because right now, outgoing, spiritual, open-minded, I would chose open-minded, but as I'm looking at this house is stability. I really, because it says a lot when you don't provide a roof over your head constantly. So therefore, I would kind of be a little leery if I'm dealing with this person because you got to have a certain level of maturity and responsibility. And then if you come into my home or we build something together, you might not even know how to appreciate it because you don't even know what it takes to keep that thing going.
Okay, okay, Steve, I hear that, but not but and so in some circumstances that I've experienced personally, or like just knowing situations of people I'm close to, or working in a shop, a salon, um, yeah, but I know people who have that, and it should give a sense of stability, but they're struggling. Like it's all a facade. So coming into, and then they don't allow you to help them get stable with what they have. Like, so it goes back to that sponge, emotional sponge. It's like, so at this big age, I personally would say someone open minded because I can grow with that. I can build with that. That's something to work with.
Now I dig it. That's why it's different preferences. Because
Yeah.
2 years from now, I might say spiritual.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But as of
Right.
today, it's housing stability. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Okay. Okay.
all right.
Okay.
So this last question is for you, and then we're gonna go into the open dialogue. All right. So we go to the blank and white. We go to a yellow card. This is
Okay.
freestyle. Like there's no multiple choice.
Okay.
I love it when my mate and I blank and why. Answer then explain why you chose that answer.
I could, I could sheesh. I could respond with a number of things, right?
Just keep
All
it keep
right, don't
keep it simple.
don't worry.
Let's
Yeah, I am. I am. I would probably say, since we were talking about being open-minded and I don't like the emotional sponge, I love when my mate and I kiss.
okay.
It is a beautiful form of intimacy. It brings us in closer to one another. Um, yeah, it can settle things, right? I love when we kiss. It brings us closer intimately. Yeah.
Okay, I dig that. I dig that. So that's the
Mm.
that's round one. That's a round. That's three questions from relationship.
Okay.
Now we go to the open dialogue. This way it gets a little different. We could dialogue, we could go back and forth. We could see how, and we'll share different things.
Okay.
First dialogue question. What is the biggest lesson you learned from a prior relationship? Good or bad? It could be a bad lesson, a good lesson, but something you was able to learn from.
Um, Probably one of the biggest lessons that I learned in a relationship is that people can only love you to the capacity of which they love themselves.
Mm,
And all of my past relationships weren't bad, right? Good people, good guys. Um, but the love, it just wasn't enough. It wasn't, they were doing the best they could, right? But it wasn't enough. And then, once I really took time to reflect and look within, I was like, they're doing good. Like it's the best they have, but it's just not satisfying to me. And even with this, someone may be able to share the same thing about me, right? But people only love you. So moving forward, when I choose to be with someone, or in the vetting dating stage, I want to see how you love yourself. Do you show up for you? Are you always available for everybody else because you really wish people were there for you? So you're not really there for you. Then again, go back to what you were saying, the emotional sponge. Now you're draining me because you don't really love yourself. You give out a lot, but you don't pour into yourself too much. So then I'm working hard. I'm feeling motherly and big sister like to my partner because they don't really love themselves. They don't know how. Maybe they haven't had space, whatever their reason is. But I would say I learned that people can only love you to the capacity in which they love themselves.
You know,
So
and let me ask you, let's build on that. That was a good answer. So
okay.
do you so how do you identify that on your next go around?
So, there's definitely signs. A couple of the questions. Well, the first question that you asked me is a good one. And the second one actually, it tells me a lot. I have a rule for myself that I don't ignore flags, white or red, right?
Okay, I got a problem with that. But go ahead.
And I can elaborate, but I'll stay here. So I pay attention to like everything. I look at how first of all, how you show up for a lot of, I love group dating, right? I think to really, especially if you're looking to date long term, and as the older people would say, if you're trying to court, and be serious and monogamous, group dating is beautiful because there's certain subjects that will come out that you get to hear your partner's response that you probably wouldn't if it was just you and them or just watching a movie, that alone, intimate, cozy, romantic time. So group dating is beautiful because everybody's talking about something, or there's so many other personalities that you can see how a person will respond or lack thereof engaging. So I look at how they show up for everyone else. Because as you date, also, Steve, I believe when you date someone, and especially once you begin to go to their place, they go to yours, things get a lot more intimate and you see behind the scenes. You see the nooks and crevices, as I love to say. So I've dated guys, and I mean truly dating, like a couple of dates that didn't go anywhere, where you're there for everybody. But when we're in your space, it's lacking so much.
Mm,
You're
okay.
kind of empty and lonely. No one's showing up for you. I hear the stories of nobody's there for me when I'm like, well, why are you always there for everybody else?
Yeah.
So there's flags there, and I pay attention to it, and I think because of the assignment, right? Like a big part of my purpose is I definitely pour into them, but I realize it's probably like, my homeboy, like a dope brother type deal, and I'm gonna exit soon, but I don't leave you where I see you, but I give some nuggets and I move on.
Okay. I hear you, Tammy. I hear you. So let me get to my there's so many lessons I learned. I'm like Mr. Relationship dude. I be in 5 year relationships like it's M&Ms. You know what I mean? So let me get to let me think of one. I was trying to
Okay.
you gave such a good answer. You kind of threw me off of my answer because I got so many I've learned. But I think one thing I've learned is that you know I'm a transparent person,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I share too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I share too much. It could be childhood trauma, whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
what I've learned, and it was a bad thing, but I've learned to share and then check because some people will use things that you shared and make up who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But when they share with me, I don't use their past and say that's who
Right.
they are. So I've
Right.
learned, and right now I'm in a place where, because I'm over 50, so I'm in a place where I say this on all my show. I'm kind of petty, but I feel like petty people was made for the world because it teaches people how to. Because if you don't show nobody nothing, and I'm not petty like I'm gonna cut your tires or nothing like that, but I will definitely nah. But I would definitely point out like if you get on me about something, I'm gonna eat it. You know what I mean? But then when I see you do it, I'm gonna say something.